Hey everyone, welcome back to Star Atlas Dowcast, the #1 podcast for news, updates, education, and all things Star Atlas. I am Dowcaster, your host. Today's topic in Star Atlas 101 is combat and crew. If you're new to Star Atlas Dowcast, and especially if you're new to the game Star Atlas for which this podcast is based on, you're in the right place. This Star Atlas 101 series will introduce you to the game and give you a pretty good understanding of why it was built, how it functions, and how you can get started with some sizable knowledge compared to other new players. Now, this is part 5 of our series, so if you haven't started, feel free to go back to part 1 for a full overview of the game. Also, much of what you hear in these episodes is both paraphrased or quoted directly from the Star Atlas white paper, which can be found in the show notes. That being said, this will eventually turn into a weekly or maybe even daily Star Atlas podcast that'll feature guilds, give you news around the Star Atlas metaverse, and keep you in the know with everything Star Atlas. All right, let's dive in. Today's topic, combat and crew. Now, if you haven't listened to our last episode, it'll provide you with the necessary knowledge you'll need to either find trouble or stay out of it in the early parts of the game. So if you don't want to lose your new $9,000 ship on its first run, I suggest you listen up. In this game, you can choose from roles such as mercenary, commander, general, and for whatever class you picked, you have the chance to strengthen your abilities to last longer in battle. Now, this also comes with the added responsibilities of gearing up your ship with the right components and crew for your specific path. That being said, depending on the path you take, your ships will all look different. So speaking of combat, as a fighter, you may want to build your ship in a way that amplifies its destructive power and strikes fear in your enemies. And adding turrets and missile bays is the main way to increase its firepower. Turrets can be energy, ballistic, or disruption type to target different components of enemy ships and installations. Turrets are powered by a power supply and protected by shields and a hull. When encountering another enemy ship, if scanned properly, the player can target subsystems to get an advantage in a fight. For instance, it may be good to target ships' power supply to lower their shields before close-range fighters move in and make the kill. Or maybe you want to disrupt their scanning equipment so they can't scan you coming in. Ships can also target land and space-based installations to free up competitors' claims. So you could basically bomb their mining, power plants, and staked claims on planets. However, those installations can also have their own weaponry installed and ready for attacks. Now, all players can mark their stance as aggressive or passive to signal their desired combat engagements, and passive stance affords a shield and maneuverability buff to allow for escape if attacked without formal declarations. Now, another really cool aspect of the game is that your ship is not the only factor in your success in combat. You also have to outfit your ship with crew members, and you can train them up. You can train them and prepare them for battle in what's called the university decks. Crew members that train together in university or previously on ships will actually improve the stats of each other when placed on the same ship's crew. If they work together frequently, they can receive buffs or upgrades over time. However, matching crew incorrectly can cause debuffs to a ship's performance. Okay, but let's get to the good part, okay? Victory. Blowing up the other ship. What do you take home if you win? Victory naturally comes with rewards, and you're free to take some spoils from the enemy ships you shoot down. The salvaged components and crew members you find are in the form of NFTs, the form in which they probably purchased them in. And these are freely tradable and monetizable in the Star Atlas metaverse, which means both in and outside of the game. So imagine this. You come in contact with a massive Titan ship with a really well-trained crew, and you defeat them. You don't only get the sense of victory. You get a fully trained crew that may even have loyalty to you if you use them on your ships. That's pretty awesome. This also means, though, that if you spend 25,000 USDC on a capital ship and lose it in the outer rim of the map, it will be picked for parts and sold on the marketplace by the winner. And even though we brought it up in the last episode, though, I want to bring it up here again. When you start, you begin the game in your faction's safe zone. You cannot be harmed until you leave that safe zone. So I hope this gives you a fair introduction of what you can expect when starting Star Atlas. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so at anchor.fm/StarAtlasDowcast/support, or you can find the link in the description. This will give you early access and be the first to know when our fundraising NFT release drops, as well as free merch. If you'd like to sponsor or be featured on the show, email me at sponsor@staratlasdowcast.com. And if you can't support monetarily, then please consider leaving a review on your podcasting app so people can learn to play this incredible game in Star Atlas. Thanks for listening, and never stop exploring.